as you look down on that great scene. Beautiful afternoon here in Las Vegas. You can see the Utes wearing all red today. They won the toss, they deferred, and so BYU will receive. Kyle Whittingham, the Utah coach, former star player at BYU. And this one will come out on the 25-yard line. And Tanner Mangum leads them out, Jesse.
22-year-old freshman, and he's a legitimate dual threat. He's a guy that can scramble, but he likes to scramble to throw the football, and that's going to be a key, I think, in this matchup today. Utah defensively does a great job getting pressure on the opposing quarterback with their defensive line. Tanner Mangum, only a freshman again. He's never played in a game with this much emotion. This is his introduction to the Holy War.
First play is a handoff to Brown, and he is thrown for a loss. Back to the 21. We welcome those of you who've been watching that thrilling game on ABC. And here we are. This is the Holy War. This is the second down after Utah threw Brigham Young for a loss on a running play on first down. Second down for Tyler Mangum, and it is incomplete, bringing up third down. Jesse Palmer, I'm going to have you reset what we're looking at for those folks who just joined us.
It's very, very seldom in the postseason you get a rivalry game to this magnitude. A lot of people outside of the state of Utah don't understand how much these two teams dislike each other. Tremendous tradition. 14 of the last 17 matchups have been decided by 7 points or less. I think we're in for a good one here today.
So third down and 14 for Mangum, the freshman. He's in trouble again. Ball is released. Scramble for the loose ball over there. The signal is the Utes have recovered a fumble, and it was the Utah defense dominating that game. The pressure came from Fitz on this play.
We talked about, Brent, how Utah's front can get pressure on the quarterback. They're very, very good and very active, and it's Fitz, number 11, who ran around the right side of that BYU offensive line. The ball looked like it popped out before Tanner Mangum's arm was going forward. So that is a live ball fumble. You see here, grabbing that right shoulder. Ball comes out before the arm goes forward. It's a fumble, and Utah's defense, which led the Pac-12 in takeaways, get a huge turnover here early.
Well, there seems to be no doubt that that's a fumble. And Travis Wilson, the senior quarterback for Utah, will bring them to the line of scrimmage. Joe Williams is his running back. For those of you not familiar with Whittingham's team, the biggest loss was Devontae Booker, their tremendous running back. Lost for the season. You will see him next playing Sunday football. Wilson was the MVP here a year ago. This is Williams dashing and bursts across the 15. A tremendous start for Utah in this rivalry game. They force a fumble. They get tremendous field position, and their first play, they explode for a first down. So the Utes dominating here early against their arch rival. Bronco Mendenhall in his last game before going to Virginia. Kyle Whittingham, one-time great BYU player who has done a tremendous job as the head coach. Going into the Wildcat formation with Brandon Cox, the backup quarterback, and they hand it off now to Thompson.
Brent, I think it was Kendall Thompson who came in to play quarterback there for that one snap on the Wildcat. Still on the field right now. He's a transfer from Oklahoma. He worked out a lot at wide receiver this offseason to get ready for this game. Utah kind of banged up at the receiver position. Now Kendall Thompson coming back out, and Travis Wilson back under center.
He keeps it himself. Wilson ran for 3 touchdowns in last year's Vegas Bowl when he was the MVP. I mentioned Brandon Cox because he has been taking the snaps as the backup this week, and we will see number 5. That was the veteran Thompson, who has also been used as the wide receiver. And because Wilson lost his helmet, he will have to come off for one play. And now we see that number 1 Thompson is coming back in.
That's a bad break for Utah. It's the red zone where I think Travis Wilson is so dangerous because of his running ability. You mentioned those 3 touchdowns he had last year in this bowl game. They all came in this area of the field. So now a critical 3rd down early with your backup quarterback.
So 3rd down, and the give is to Williams, and he was very close to that 1st down.
Travis Wilson was already running back onto the field. Looks like the referees were spotting 4th down. Looks like Utah is going to go. You know, I know it's a big rivalry game. He came away with a big turnover early. I'd be inclined just to take the points in this situation and have BYU pay for the mistake. There is a big critical down and distance early in this football game.
Here's 4th down. Wilson, remember, very dangerous in the red zone as a runner. Got the 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal as he handed the ball off to his running back, Williams.
Nice gamble by Kyle Whittingham. A tremendous surge that time by Utah's big physical offensive line. Week in, week out. This is what Utah does. They try and establish the line of scrimmage with physicality.
Good news for Utah. Kenneth Scott, the wide receiver, who was injured late in the season, on the field. Williams is going to be fumbled as he kept the ball. And there's a flag down. So again, we pointed out, Jesse, just like last year, Wilson dangerous as a runner in these situations.
Yeah. Offside. Defense number 62. The penalized half the distance to the ball. First down.
Big challenge, I think, for BYU in this game. Their front 7 having to match the physicality of the front of Utah, because there is no mystery. Utah is going to run it right at you, and it's these scenarios right here. It's a pick your poison scenario. A lot of zone read type plays, handoffs, fake handoffs. You got a 6'7" quarterback running around the outside.
The play is stopped by the Utah bench. So they're going to use their first timeout. And when we come back to Las Vegas, it'll be 1st and goal for Utah. If you just joined us, they're taking advantage of a BYU fumble on the Cougars' first series. Well, we welcome you to the Royal Purple Las Vegas Bowl. It's part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Utah threatening here in the opening quarter after the tune by BYU. Jesse, I know you played in a lot of great rivalries, but this one's pretty intense.
It's really good. You're right. I mean, I played in a great in-state rivalry, Florida State, and with you, we covered the Iron Bowl last year, and I've been a part of the Civil War out in Oregon. But I got to tell you, being around here the last couple of days, the intensity of this game, it is right up there. It's unbelievable.
So here we go now. 1st down and goal for the Utes. Williams is stacked up, twists to the right, and touchdown. Great second effort by the running back, as he just would not be denied, and he kept twisting off to the right.
Sure did, Brent. It looked like Fred Warner had a crack at him. Looked like Logan Taile had a crack at him. And Joe Williams just kind of keeps fighting. He's going to be kind of running away from you here. You see number 4, Warner gets in there. He kind of gets that right arm around him. And then Taile is in the pile with his legs or his arms around his legs. Just a tremendous effort here. This will be a great look right here. Churning the legs, keeping his balance, keeping the shoulder pad square to the plane of the end zone.
Instant replay is going to take a long look at this.
Sure are.
This is going to be shut down for a while. We have a Mid-American Conference set of officials here. Bill Age is our replay official. He's up above us. And there's a very good chance that he's going to be ruled down here. Do you think, Jess?
Well, yeah, you got to look at what point does his knee touch the ground and where's the football. Judging from that angle there's a shadow, so it kind of makes it difficult to see, Brent. But when I look at it from that angle here, it looks as though he's down short of the end zone. There you can see the football clearly crossing the plane, but his knee had obviously touched way before that. Now, again, ruling on the field was touchdown. So when you're looking at this in replay, you need indisputable video evidence to overturn that.
Utah keeping the ball on the ground after the turnover by the Cougars.
Big story in this game early.
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
I really think it's hard to see. I think the issue is, you're looking right now. It looks like he's down. The question is in here, where's the football in relationship to the plane? And because of that shadow under all those bodies, it's just hard to tell. I don't know if they had the indisputable video evidence that they were looking for to have to overturn that call.
Andy Phillips, one of the better kickers this year in the Pac-12, is on for the extra point. And just like that, Utah takes an early lead as a result of the BYU turnover. And there is the reaction on the sideline by Joe Williams, the junior from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Bronco Mendenhall, after viewing the replay on a big board, he can't believe the decision.
ESPN's College Football on ABC, presented by Royal Purple, proud sponsor of the 2015 Royal Purple Las Vegas Bowl. Las Vegas. For all things Vegas, there's only one LasVegas.com. The Quicksilver Card from Capital One. Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back every purchase, every day. And Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper and college football. It's a one-of-a-kind tradition.
Yeah, it's a great experience for the fans of BYU and Utah coming in here to Las Vegas. And, of course, the Utes strike first. They scored right after a BYU turnover. But there is something to watch, and we thought it was going to be the key to this game, was whether or not the BYU offensive line can block this Utah front. And clearly they had enormous trouble on that first series. So we'll see if they can adjust, give some of those fellas in the middle help against some of the best defensive tackles in the country, as Phillips will kick it away, a touchback on his first kickoff, and now Bird is going to bring it out. Spins, battles his way to the 21-yard line. So want to point out in the middle, Fa'anuku, Mokafisi, Lutulele, Tuikolovatu. For the rest of the afternoon, Jesse Palmer will have those four names.
Say, good job by you, partner. Stayed up late last night.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Johnny Walker Black was going down, and I was practicing.
That's way easier to say.
So it's first down now. Mangum is back in that pistol attack, going to throw it on a slant. Up in the air, intercepted. Second turnover in the game. This could be a pick six. One man to beat. Touchdown, Tevin Carter. And Utah dominates here early.
Tremendous job in coverage by cornerback Reginald Porter, working one-on-one with Devin Blackman, trying to run the slant route. He's able to get his hand in on the ball, pop it up into the air. And Tevin Carter cleans it up. Two huge turnovers early for Utah.
Phillips tacks on his second extra point, and BYU has been stunned. They were concerned about the length of these wide receivers. Great coverage, tipped ball, picked off by Carter, and a pick six. A second turnover. The Cougars have to regroup. Well, Utah is dominating, and Maria Taylor, we understand that Bronco Mendenhall's successor has been named. What's the latest?
Well, Brent, ESPN reporter Joe Schad is saying that a deal has been done between BYU and Oregon State's current defensive coordinator and assistant head coach, Kalani Sitake. Now, Sitake actually coached in last year's Royal Purple Las Vegas Bowl as the defensive coordinator of the Utes, where he was there 10 seasons before, had a top 25 defense, and he graduated from BYU in 2000. So he is a former Cougar that would essentially be coming back home to coach BYU and be the successor of Bronco Mendenhall, Brent.
Yeah, and I think, Maria, that's the first of Lavelle Edwards. Great players to come back and coach BYU. And, of course, a tremendous recruiter, great coach during the game. And the Cougars right now in Mendenhall's last game need to respond as Burt again slips short of the 20-yard line. Jesse, as we take a look at today's keys to the game, is brought to you by Franklin American Mortgage. Everything coming up Utes.
Yeah, well, I think the key really is in a big rivalry game like this, who handles the emotions the best. There's a lot of trash talking, a lot of chippiness going on. You have to be able to keep your head, no dumb penalties. BYU getting a pass rush. They got to stop the run first and second down, get pressure on Travis Wilson. And finally for Utah, one thing they haven't been able to do all year, explosive plays in the passing game. I think when they have one-on-one opportunities on the perimeter, they have to be able to convert.
Down 2 touchdowns, they've got to get a little patient. And they drop it off to Nick Kurtz. And they pick up their first down of this game. And there's a penalty flag thrown back on the 20-yard line.
We just talked about it, Brent. Keeping your head, controlling your emotions.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 56. The penalized half the distance for the ball.
The center.
Down
High
count.
School in Allen, Texas.
Second
And
down.
So that first down
This is 56.
is going to be
First of
negated
the game.
here. And the Cougars have just got to gain some composure here. 2 turnovers, a bad penalty on a first down play.
The previous play made the line to gain. Therefore, it'll be 1st and 10 following the penalty.
Way after that catch and first down was made, Croma came over, and I think he hit Tuiko Lovato, defensive tackle for Utah, way late. Knocked him down on the ground right in front of an official. It was an easy call to make. You just got to be able to keep your head. Of course, this is Croma's first Holy War experience himself, being only a true sophomore.
But because it was after the play, it's 1st and 10. And that's 2 completions in a row. And that's another first down. Mitchell Juergens.
You can see Tanner Mangum is a polished passer. He is a true drop-back pocket thrower. Very, very accurate. A nice job putting that ball right on the face mask of the former walk-on Mitchell Juergens in the slot.
Well, he's been on target here with his last few passes, and this time they get back to the running game, and they hand off to Bernard, getting around that left edge. How huge would this be, Jesse, for the Cougars to march back and get one of these scores back?
It'd be huge. You're right, Brent, just for their emotion to get some of this momentum back and really try and collect some poise. Just calm down, get yourself reestablished. Take back control of this game a little bit. Right now, 3 good-looking plays back to back to back, minus the penalty, of course, 2 snaps ago.
Bouncing off that stop and drawn for a huge loss. And that was Trey Dye who had checked in, number 6.
It's going to be really important that BYU has to have balance on offense. They're a team that prefers to throw it much more than they run, but when they do decide to tote the rock, they have to have some success and try and keep this Utah defense off balance. And that's easier said than done.
The shirt opening was fast.
we're saying here. Looking for a face mask call there on Utah. It looked like he grabbed the top of his jersey.
They're down and 4 as a result. Deflected, picked off on the sideline. Almost another pick six. Carter again. He has one touchdown, and he's set up a possible second with his second interception of this game.
That was a tremendous play by defensive end Jason Fanaika. You're going to see number 51 on the left. He stopped his rush knowing he wasn't going to get home and just began spying Mangum. Got his hands up in the air, was able to tip the football. And there's Johnny on the spot so far in this game here today. Tevin Carter with his second pick. Unbelievable. Great play by Jason Fanaika right there.
So how depressed are the BYU players and their fans who are here? They're checking the sideline on this just to see that he stayed in bounds.
There's no doubt. It looked to me like he got 2 feet in after he had control of the football. He's got it there. Doesn't seem like there's really any juggle. I guess the big question is you're looking at that left foot. That possession, right foot, left foot. From those angles, they both look in. But you're right, Brent. What a start by this Utah defense. And really, taking the football away has been their MO all season.
On the field is confirmed.
3 possessions for BYU and 3 turnovers. A fumble and 2 interceptions on balls that were tipped. So the Utes defense comes up big against Mendenhall's offense here.
This would be demoralizing right now to take a 3-touchdown lead this early into the game.
But indeed they have, as Williams busts across. The Utes ambush their rival. If that other hand was up, I would say Broncos praying. Phillips again. So Carter. From Los Angeles with his second interception of the game. And then it is Williams, his second touchdown of the game. It's 21-0. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Kick off your drive with tires that return superior performance. Goodyear, more driven. The skyline of Las Vegas, Nevada. New York, New York, indeed. And what a day it's been for Utah sports so far. What a parlay, eh? Utah to beat Duke and couple that with the football team to rout BYU. You could be living large tonight. But a long way to go, Jesse.
Yeah, it certainly is. A lot of football left, and obviously this is the worst start possible for BYU in this game, but there's no need to panic just yet. I think the good news for BYU, Tanner Mangum, in this offense, they generate a lot of explosive plays in the passing game because they've got 4 wide receivers with tremendous size, and they can throw jump balls deep down the field. Get a lot of these yardage plays back, get back on the scoreboard, get back in this game.
Phillips. Returned again by Burt. He hasn't been able to reach the 25 until this time. And he's out to the 27-yard line.
Really, for Tanner Mangum, obviously 2 quick picks in this game, both to Tevin Carter. The first one's not his fault. It's a good throw on the slant. It's the better play by the cornerback, tipping the football up in the middle of the field, and then Carter has the convoy. The second interception was a phenomenal play by the defensive end, getting the tip. And you got to give Tevin Carter credit. He's been where he's needed to be in coverage, and they've been able to capitalize. BYU right now needs to settle down, stay within the offensive game plan. There is so much football left in this game.
Meanwhile, there was an injured Utah player on the kickoff coverage team who is down. And we'll see if that's one of their defensive players.
Yeah, it's Peter Tawamoipenu.
It's number 50 who was with the coverage team. And you can see some of his teammates over there concerned. Well, Jesse, what BYU has to do in this situation, of course, is they got to protect the football. I mean, Mangum has thrown the ball. The last one was a bad pass because it was too low.
Yeah.
And it was deflected. And the first one, the defensive back made a great effort to get it up in the air.
Yeah, I think for the most part, early in this game, watching Tanner Mangum, I think the decision-making's been good. I think he's been going where he needs to go with the football. He got a bad break, obviously, on 2 tip balls. But just kind of stay within it. This is a situation, really, with the exception of the Michigan game, that BYU really hasn't been in. Down this much this early. Good news for Utah right there. This is how Moipenu gets up and jogging off the sideline. A guy that they're going to need certainly in this game, providing depth at the defensive end position. A very good pass rusher himself. You see BYU here, this is a big opportunity, a critical drive right now to get back on the field here, generate some momentum, drive the ball, and come away with points. Find ways to create momentum back on your sideline.
Even a punt would be a success.
That's right.
Okay. So the Cougars with 5 wide. And Mangum flushed, throws deep down the middle, and a little bit too high for Howard.
There's an example of those jump balls that Tanner Mangum likes to throw, especially when he gets flushed from the pocket. He's got 4 receivers that are 6 foot tall or taller. And Taron Houck at tight end, one of those guys, and whether it's single coverage or double coverage, Tanner Mangum doesn't care. I mean, he would put the ball up in the air and allow his guys to go elevate, and oftentimes they come down with it.
Brown is the running back. Play action. Fires complete to the 36-yard line with that pass. That was Juergens again.
And you see when Tanner Mangum's in a nice rhythm, when he's getting good protection, he has an opportunity to survey the field. Ball comes out on time. Ball comes out extremely accurately. Of course, the big challenge for them is trying to contain and control this pass rush in this front from Utah.
So they need 1 yard, so they show the power high. And they run the toss play, and it is close, but there is a penalty flag.
Penalty flag thrown way away from the opposite sideline of that play.
Against the defense.
Offside. Defense number 51. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Results in a first down.
Jason.
So Fanica.
Yeah. Fanica, of course, who had the tip on the last interception.
So the chains will move here for the Cougars. Ball is out to their 43-yard line. Mangum in deep trouble. It's out of trouble. Fires. Got a man open. Incomplete. That was Mitch Matthews, the young man who caught that pass against Nebraska in the season opener.
I think that's one that Matthews is good enough to come up with. You know, BYU was trying to run a draw play. That was a run-pass option, but because of the pressure and the penetration Utah got up front, Tanner Mangum had to abort the play, had to start rolling out to his left. And then you see 10 Matthews at the top of the screen. It's a scramble drill. He's running a curl. He sees Mangum rolling out. It's a good throw. You may have heard a little bit of footsteps there from Marcus Williams, the safety.
And Marcus Williams is a really good safety, too. And he was coming hard. Second down. Play action. Wilson steps up in the pocket, and he's hit on the release. There's the third interception. This is another pick six, folks. This is Hatfield taking it to the house. 4 possessions, 4 turnovers, 2 pick sixes.
And it was Jason Fanaika again, having a monster game here, a monster quarter early with the pressure coming off the left side of the offensive line from BYU. He's the one that got his hand on the arm of Tanner Mangum. Forced that ball to pop up in the air. This is just unbelievable. Robert and I, you see there the offensive coordinator for BYU, Tanner Mangum, they can't believe it.
Phillips on again. Folks, we are barely halfway through the first quarter of this football game. Utah dominating every way imaginable. 2 pick sixes, 4 turnovers in 4 possessions. For BYU, this holy war has turned very unholy in a hurry. So this rivalry began back in the 20s. Utah dominated in the early going. In fact, BYU didn't win a game until just before the Second World War. 21st meeting, but then Lavelle Edwards came to town, and it was a different story. 19 of the first 21 under the Hall of Fame coach, and we know how sad he is watching what's going on here. And then it became Mendenhall against Kyle Whittingham, who played for Lavelle, and Utah leads in that matchup 6-3. 7 of 9 games have been decided by 7 points or less. We might want to throw that one out, and Bronco might want to rethink that decision to coach BYU in its bowl game. Last year, we had Colorado State here, and of course, Jimmy McElwain had been hired as the Florida coach. He did not go to the sideline. In fact, Jesse talked to you and I on the telephone.
That's right.
Bronco would prefer to be doing that right now. And here comes another return by Burt, been a very, very busy man. And he is out to about the 28-yard line. I want to remind everybody that bowl season continued. A little bit of a scrum down there after Burt went down. And again, I mentioned that the bowl season will continue tonight at 9. Arkansas State and Louisiana Tech, the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. That figures to be a close, interesting game. Most wonderful time of the year, and it rolls on tonight. And former Gator quarterback from Louisiana Tech.
Jeff Driscoll's had a phenomenal year. The transfer from Florida, Louisiana Tech, he'll play in the Senior Bowl. They've got one of the best running backs in the country in Kenneth Dixon. Of course, Arkansas State statistically was the best offense in the nation the second half of the year.
On first down, Mangum, and that one is caught close to the first down marker by Kurtz. Kurtz out of El Cajon.
And you're seeing the mobility here in Mangum, and he's going to have to continue doing that right there. The pass rush for Utah has been legitimate early in this game, and one thing Mangum can do, he can extend the play, and when he scrambles, he more often than not likes to scramble to his right. They're a very accurate throw on the run.
First down and 10, and the run play is stopped. And that was Canada on his first carry, and they're saying it was another fumble, another turnover. Utah is signaling. I'm not sure the officials are agreeing. Oh no! 5 possessions and 5 turnovers.
The Washington State transfer, Squally Canada.
Clearly dropping the ball.
Getting his first handoff of the season.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Was never able to secure the football, and I think it was Tui Kolovatu from Utah that ended up with it. Squally Canada was a freshman, played at Washington State, transferred to BYU, had to sit out the entire year, but was eligible to play in this bowl game in the postseason. They're a guy that BYU is really excited about, but just poor execution on the quarterback-running back exchange. What more could go bad for BYU offensively?
5 possessions, 5 turnovers. They haven't crossed midfield. Wilson takes off and reaches the 35
And that's Utah's 8th offensive snap. Their 8th offensive play of the game. 8th. And they've already scored 4 touchdowns. And Travis Wilson in this offense, they got to get lathered up again.
So a stunning first quarter with 6:15 remaining. And the other thing is, Jesse, Utah hasn't even bothered to pass the ball yet.
Yeah,
okay?
Haven't had to.
Here we go. First pass of the game. And it is complete as he hits Kendall Thompson, the quarterback. Because they were shorthanded at receiver, they used Thompson as a wide receiver in practice leading up to this game. So he's going to get some reps. We told you about Scott. Clearly, Britton Covey is not at 100%. He was injured against UCLA with an ankle. He did not even practice yesterday when we were out watching. So it is first down and 10 for the Utes. Wilson slips as he comes over to the left. And they lost a few yards.
Yeah, to your point, Brent. I mean, this is turning out exactly how Utah would like offensively because of all those injuries at wide receiver and them having to use backup quarterbacks. They're taking their true freshman tight end, Caleb Rep, and moving him out at wide receiver. Right now with this lead, you don't have to throw it very much. And obviously your identity, running the football, and you're Kyle Whittingham in this offense. You want to stick with that mantra.
Second down and a little option look. After juggling the ball, that was Joe Williams back in.
Yep.
And there's a penalty flag. Came late.
Sai Tatu, linebacker from BYU, got a late shot in the 31. I think the referees caught him. This game's getting out of hand. It's a rivalry game, and it's obviously getting chippy. Just watch late here. 31 here. He's playing the option. Doesn't get a hit, but he comes back in on the play a little bit late. Late tackle by Kua as well. Slamming down the running back, Williams, but I don't think that's what it was called. I don't think that's who it was called on.
After the play was over, we have 2 unsportsmanlike fouls. Unsportsmanlike on the offense, number 13. Unsportsmanlike on the defense, number 31. The foul's offset. Second down.
This is something you might expect, Brian. We talked about it. Rivalry game. It's getting out of hand early. It's 28-0. BYU frustrated, obviously. You've just got to be able to maintain your poise, and it's something that both of these coaching staffs have tried to drill home to their players, Kyle Whittingham and Bronco Mendenhall themselves. Keep your composure. Certainly everybody remembers at BYU what happened in their bowl game last year against Memphis with the bench-clearing brawl at the end of that overtime game in the Miami Beach Bowl. These referees here, you got to do a really good job controlling this game, keeping it clean. Okay, so there's a hit late there on Utah, and you see it's Tatu. It's kind of retaliating to the hit he took. Looked like from Corey Butler-Bird, number 16 from Utah, not number 13 from Utah.
You know, you think about Kyle Whittingham and Utah making back-to-back appearances here in the Vegas Bowl.
The number of the Utah player was 16. That is his first unsportsmanlike foul of the game. It is third down.
So it'll be about third down and 3. But Kyle, in particular, was not happy about a repeat appearance in Las Vegas. He felt that because of the Utes' performance in the Pac-12 during the season, that they should have been headed to, let's say, a Holiday Bowl or someplace like that. But he said, I'm not making light of the Vegas Bowl. We love coming down here. I just thought that we would fall higher in the pecking order. And I think there was something to prove by this Utah team, and they are proving it right now. Touchdown, Wilson. Possessions, 5 turnovers lead to 5 touchdowns. And And we've still got 4.5 minutes left in the opening quarter.
There's a BYU player down here at the end of this play, but Travis Wilson showing you the mobility that he has, and he's always shown throughout his career as a 4-year starter at Utah. And that last play was Harvey Lange, a middle linebacker on a blitz, former Utah running back actually, that had a clear shot at Travis Wilson, and he was able to make him miss, and then make this BYU defense pay. Just everything right now, Brent, going Utah's way.
Yeah, I really feel sorry for my Mormon friends at BYU. You know, they don't drink. You know, this game would drive you to it.
There's got to be a lot of other things you can do. Put this in the rear view mirror. A lot of football left. We're going to keep saying that, but it's amazing. There's 4 minutes and 38 seconds left in this first quarter.
Yes.
It's 34 nothing.
Soon to be 35, I might add, with Phillips out there. That's Wadsworth, and good safety.
Yeah, really, you know, who played his high school football here in Las Vegas. He was really, really excited to kind of put a cap on his collegiate career here, where he says it really all began. And he's maybe the best tackler, one of the best tacklers on BYU's defense, the White transfer. And that's a big loss, obviously, for this BYU defense in this game.
$35-0 as we take a look at today's Scion playbook.
Going back to this last touchdown, Harvey Lange is going to be playing linebacker in the middle of the field right here. He's coming through unimpeded on a blitz. Travis Wilson, he's done this his entire career. There's a free shot at the quarterback. He's able to make a miss. At 6'7", he's got tremendous change of direction and quickness for a guy that has long strides. We talked about it. When Travis Wilson scrambles, it's not to throw. Guys aren't open or he's got pressure, he is gone downfield. We saw him do this a lot in last year's Royal Purpose Las Vegas Bowl against Colorado State when he had 3 touchdown runs. Only 12 offensive snaps so far for Travis Wilson. He's barely broken a sweat, and already they're up 35-0.
Some of us might want to rethink where we rated this bowl and the overall scheme of things. I want to point out, these two teams play again in September.
I don't think that BYU, and we'll see how this game ends. There's still a lot of football still to be played, and they could write an unbelievable script with an unbelievable comeback here. This will serve as motivation for next year's regular season clash in September, no doubt about it.
Putting it right back in Bert's hands and stopping him shy of the 25. We check out BYU, of course, an independent. So you have to schedule a lot of these teams, and there it is going into Salt Lake on September 10th. But take a look at the remainder of that schedule.
That's not just a New Year's 6 bowl game schedule. In my opinion, that's a playoff schedule. You've got Arizona, UCLA, Utah right out of the gate from the Pac-12. West Virginia, Michigan State playing in the semifinal, obviously, this year. Mississippi State from the SEC. Even the group of 5 teams. Boise State on the road. Cincinnati, Toledo at home. Utah State late in the year. Tough sledding.
Let's see if they can hang on to the ball. This is Brown. Running back.
Yeah, and I think for BYU to get back in this, forget the turnovers, and that's obviously the big part, but this offensive line has to take over, and they've had so much inconsistency this year with injuries. They had 7 different starting lineups throughout the season, just no continuity. Game plan had to change week in, week out. They're as healthy as they've been all season right now. That's got to show up against a really good Utah front.
2nd down and 5, and they hand off to Bernard.
We've seen Squally Canada, and we've seen Trey Dye, and we've seen Riley Burton, some different guys carry the ball. If I'm BYU, I'm leaving it in the hands of their big bruisers, Algie Brown, number 24, and Francis Bernard, 36. Because of their versatility and their experience, right now you can't afford any more turnovers. Guys that have done it week in, week out, give them the ball.
Moving the pocket to the left. And I got to tell you, they had a crack at a 6th turnover that time.
It's like Brian Allen at cornerback had a chance to maybe pick that off and high point it. I don't know if he lost that in the sun, but it looked like it also then, it actually hit Nick Kurtz, the receiver, BYU, right in the face. Watch this again. Roll out. There's the throw. The corner, I don't know if he got a hand on that or not, but Nick Kurtz, number 5, completely lost track of it. And Allen, see, I don't know if he touched it, and I don't know if Kurtz lost it in the sun. That's a big missed opportunity for both teams.
Big hole. Midfield, they cross it for the first time with Bernard. To the 37-yard line. And that brings a little applause for the folks in blue.
That's something BYU needed bad. And BYU fans, get ready for this. You're going to see a lot more of Bernard in years to come. He's only a freshman. I love him because of his versatility. 6 feet tall, 235. He can catch the ball. He can block. He's a very good runner for a very big back. He's going to be a big part of BYU's offense the next 3 years.
29-yard gain for the Cougars here. Going deep. Jump ball. And unable to hold on is Mitch Matthews. Had a crack at it. And Brian Allen was back there defensively for the Utes.
And that's a phenomenal play by Brian Allen because Mitch Matthews normally comes down with these. He's such a tremendous playmaker at 6'6". He has the ability to scale the wall, but that time Allen, great job. Look at the right hand, how he gets it in on the ball. That is tough to do, to turn around in the sun, locate the football, and knock it away like that. What can you say about Utah's defense so far in this game?
Second down and 10. Overload to the left and then come back to the right, going for Kurtz. And it'll be third down and 10.
But I like the idea by BYU. You're down 35-0. Start taking some shots. You've got a major size advantage outside. You've had it all year long against every secondary that you faced. You need explosive plays to get back in this thing. You start wondering also if you're Bronco Mendenhall, how many fourth downs do you start trying to go for, especially now? You're across the 40. This has to be 4-down territory.
There's a penalty. That's a first down. Colby Pearson was the intended receiver, and Porter all over him defensively.
Yeah, he grabbed his left shoulder in the jersey, and that was an easy call to make. That's a big conversion BYU needed right there.
Pass interference. Defense number 29. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
It's a very good route by Colby Pearson outbreaking, but just watch number 29 here, bottom of the screen. He's going to grab the jersey, and really it's that left shoulder. Now Pearson looks like he pushed off a little bit too, which he's not allowed to do, but that didn't get called. Ultimately, PI on the defense, first down BYU.
Mangum spun down at the 25. He had a receiver wide open over there on the left flat who could have run all day if they had just chucked the ball to him.
They sure did, Brent, and that's kind of the outlet. And, you know, you're down 35-0, so as Mangum as a freshman, you want to get it all back, and you want to get it all back right now. And maybe force another one of those jump balls deep in the end zone, but you're right, Brent. That was a play. If you just spit that out to the sideline, Colby Pearson could have caught that. He might have run for a touchdown.
Second down off play action. Firing high and incomplete. The receiver had no chance. Blackman was covered, and now it'll be third down and 9 for the Cougars.
I gotta tell you, Brent, I'm really impressed watching Utah's cornerbacks so far in this game. And coming in, I really thought that was the weakness of their defense. Even though they generated a lot of interceptions this year, I thought that was a deceiving number. If you watch the film, oftentimes there's receivers running by them on double moves, getting explosive plays in the passing game, but Utah's cornerbacks done a great job against a good group of receivers from BYU early.
Going to the end zone, and Kurtz incomplete. No flag, fourth down. And again, that was Hatfield back there in the secondary.
Yeah, another jump ball thrown. There was a lot of contact that time on the corner. I thought that should have been pass interference. Dominic Hatfield had an arm wrapped around Kurtz's waist that looked like, to me, this is the MO of this BYU offense. This is right here. He kind of wraps him around right there way before the ball gets to him. To me, that's PI.
The crowd's going to boo this decision to go for a field goal. And I'm talking about the BYU crowd. They're going to say, what are we talking about here? Trevor Sampson is out. Mendenhall just wants to get something on that scoreboard, unless it's a fake. But it's a long way to go on 4th down. Holder, kick is up, and it is no good. Folks in blue are restless. They were not happy with that decision.
I don't know if it was
and the holder tried to handle that bad snap and get it up. This is not a turnover, but it's another mistake.
Yeah, it's a bit of
by the Cougars. He did get it down.
It was a good hold, Brent.
Yes, it was. Excellent hold.
Trevor Sampson is the most accurate kicker in BYU history, converting on 87% of his field goals, and really no excuse to miss that one. I guess what you question is, should BYU have just gone for it down 35-0? But I kind of agree with what you said earlier. I think you're just looking for a moral victory, something, generate some points. I don't hate the idea to kick a field goal.
So Wilson with the inside handoff. Final couple of minutes here in the first quarter. Joe Williams is his running back. Want to go down the Utah offensive line. Tevi, Asiata, Iono, Ohatafa, and Thielman.
You're just showing off again.
I like to do them all at once. You don't understand.
You do them all in succession. You knock them out, and then you don't have to do it anymore the rest of the game. That's a good.
Just give those big fellas. Teach you some of the tricks of the trade.
I'm learning from. I'm taking notes.
2nd down and 10. Wilson now scrambling off to his left and pitches it out of bounds to save the loss.
There was a time there that Travis Wilson was looking to take a shot deep down the field. He had a converted tight end, Caleb Rep, one-on-one outside. I'm not really sure why Travis Wilson held on to that football. Looked like he had a shot and maybe a jump ball opportunity. Nonetheless, now, I'll tell you, you're looking for any moral victory you can find right now if you're BYU. Here's a 3rd and long. Got to be able to get off the field. For BYU to get back into this at some point defensively, they're going to have to start making some plays of their own. They're going to have to generate some turnovers, give themselves some chances.
Here's 3rd down and 10. Here comes the blitz. There's a penalty flag. Receiver is overthrown, and we got a couple of flags.
I think you're going to get an offside on Utah. That's, I think, a reason why Travis Wilson took that shot, knowing he had a free play. And then I think you're going to get at least defensive holding on Micah Hanneman from BYU. I think both of these are going to be going against the Cougars. That's another, just a terrible, it's just I mean, it's 3rd and 10. You just can't have penalties like that and give Utah an opportunity to sustain drives.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Offside. Defense number 4. That penalty is declined. Pass interference. Defense number 7. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Micah Hanneman, number 7, is the guy that a lot of offenses try and go after because BYU is so aggressive defensively and they blitz so much. They leave their cornerbacks on islands one-on-one. Hanneman found himself on one there, and the pass interference keeps this drive alive. So right here you got a blitz coming up the middle. You see number 4 at the top of the screen, Fred Warner. He's the one that got called for offsides, and here's the PI. He's trailing in a position. He grabs the shoulder pad, grabs the jersey. It's too easy.
Complete to the outside, and there is Covey. Good to see him back in action. A very, very talented freshman out of Provo, hometown fella. Caught 41 passes during the regular season for 518 yards, and is somebody on the staff of Utah told me yesterday in practice he plays much bigger than he is. 5'8", 166 pounds. He's going to be a good one in the Pac-12 in the years ahead here. 2nd down and 8. To the 45-yard line.
I think that ball came out. I think actually Joe Williams fumbled this football and was lucky to dive back on top of it. That's a problem he's had since taking over for Devontae Booker. Had 2 fumbles in 2 games. He got a lot of reps against UCLA and Colorado. Check this out again. It happened late. He was going to the ground. Yeah, you see the ball came out when he was going down. He's going to have to do a better job with ball security as this game goes on.
The end end of a first quarter that BYU wants to forget in a hurry. 3 interceptions, 2 pick sixes. Cougars turn it over 5